today's episode of the Balancing Hormones Naturally podcast, where we offer actions and steps you can take today to start supporting and balancing your hormones. This is your podcast host, Leah Brueggemann. I am honored and excited to be your guide on your way to better understanding your hormone health and how it affects your everyday life. Hey ladies, so I am recording in the basement today, and so I sincerely hope that you can't hear the fireplace because it pops on and off randomly, and yeah, so if you're hearing like wonky noises in the background, that's probably what it is. And first of all, I apologize. So I asked for you guys to rate and review the podcast for a chance to win a one-on-one call with me, and you guys over-delivered. Oh my Lanta. So we had a random drawing, and the person to win, okay, so their handle, I don't know who you are, so if this is you, please let me know. But the handle is music4GD. So if that's you, please let me know. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. But she said, I absolutely love how Leah gets so excited when she talks about hormones. It makes me enthusiastic to learn about them. I have learned so much information from these podcasts and just from Leah's classes. She is like a computer on steroids and is always willing to help you feel better. If you haven't listened to her podcast yet, then what are you waiting for? You will never go back once you begin this incredible and empowering journey of healing. Well, okay, I love you so much. You are so sweet. I wish I was a computer on steroids. She is probably talking about the free trainings that I always give in my Facebook group. So if you aren't in there, you should get in there. But yeah, I don't know who you are, but you are the sweetest human, and shoot me a message on Instagram because you won a one-on-one call with me. I don't know, like let me know, should I do more of these drawings? I would love for you guys literally to just take a second to stop and rate and review. It means the world to me. That really helps the ratings for the podcast. For it to get out to wonderful people, and just screenshot you watching it and share it on your stories and tag me, because I just love seeing you watch it, and I don't know, I love this lovely community that we have of women all trying and wanting to get their hormones on track. So anyways, I thought today what we would talk about, let me pull up some notes here so I stay on track, is adrenal fatigue. Now, I'm calling it adrenal fatigue because that's probably what you're aware of it being called, but adrenal fatigue is not really a thing. It's more so your hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis is dysfunctioning. So that's really what it's called. It's not like your adrenals get fatigued, okay? So there's a few different phases of this, and basically it's a pattern of chronic stress and abnormal regulation of cortisol. And this can also cause period problems, because you'll learn about in the episode of Raising Your Progesterone Naturally that cortisol and stress really directly impacts your progesterone and your inflammation. So that is going to be obviously an issue. Progesterone also can help improve your hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis function. So we kind of become part of a very twisted circle with this chronic stress and dysregulation. So what is cortisol? It's a steroid hormone. It is produced by your body, and it's higher in the morning, and it's lowest about 2 to 3 hours after going to sleep. So that's why it's really, really important that you're getting this 7 to 8 hours of regular, relaxing, rested sleep, because that's when your body's refueling and getting ready to recharge you for another day. So what can happen with your cortisol is that when you are entering a stress response, okay, like a stress on your body, let's say you smelt smoke, or you got in a fight with somebody, or you yelled at your kids, or you drank coffee in the morning before you ate your breakfast. Yes, I'm looking at you. Do you feel called out? You should feel called out. This is a stress response to your body. Your hypothalamus, which is your master gland, master organ. I don't know how else to explain that. The king, the queen, whatever you want to call it. But your hypothalamus sends hormones to your pituitary, which sends hormones to your adrenals so that they release adrenaline, which triggers your hypothalamus to, again, signal back to your adrenals to release cortisol. So when you get stressed, cortisol comes into the situation and gets spiked. It spikes your blood sugar because cortisol is your fight or flight hormone. It's like, hello, we're stressed. We need to live. Let's get out of here. So it spikes your blood sugar, slows down your digestion. It's an anti-inflammatory. That's why, like, if you have like sore muscles and stuff, that's also a stress on your body. Cortisol is anti-inflammatory. So what happens though is like you can have too much cortisol because we live in such a stressed society that it's not just your body trying to save you from a bear. It's now like you didn't get enough sleep last night and oh wow, that's been happening for 5 weeks and your job is stressful and your poor body is constantly like stress. Now that's what I would call an acute phase of adrenal dysfunction, HPA axis dysfunction. Okay, it's consistently happening and your body's like spiking all this cortisol. But then what happens is your body, your hypothalamus goes, okay, Leah, too much cortisol, too much. We can't live in this stressed state like this. But your stress didn't go away. But your body stops producing as much cortisol. So that will be something that's very interesting if you get a lab result and you feel really tired and your labs are drawn, but they're quote unquote normal. That's why it's so important to also look at the person's lifestyle. Because if you're in a very stressful state, but your labs are normal, that's probably because that's the best your body can do right now with the cortisol output. It's like we can't do anymore. Okay? So that's why it's really important to take a look at the whole phase. Just because your cortisol levels are up or they're normal doesn't give you the whole picture. You also have to really look at lifestyle as well. So what do we need to do? Because I bet you any bucks, like, you all are stressed. I feel like so many times when we go to the doctor or we have issues with things that are going on in our body, it can always be traced back to stress. And so stress is one of those foundational things that we need to work on. And stress doesn't just mean external stressors that's going on in your life. It could be internal stressors. And that could be food sensitivities. That could be parasites, like immune function, all of that kind of stuff. So what can we do? So I want you to, starting today, make your nighttime routine a non-negotiable, okay? You need to be getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. No. I don't want to hear your excuses. You either take time to support your body to heal, or it's just going to keep going downhill. The more you push through this, the worse it's going to get. It's not going to get better, okay? So you need to become very, very, very regular with your nighttime routine, whatever that is to you, okay? So maybe that is, well, absolutely get off your screens an hour before going to bed. Okay, but maybe you take a bath. Maybe you read a book. Maybe you stretch. Maybe you drink tea. Maybe you do all of the above. I love EFT tapping as well for stress. It's a great one to prepare for bed. You can look up Yes Supply on YouTube. She's wonderful. She gives wonderful demonstrations. And then you prepare for bed. You go to sleep. You get off social media. You stop the stress. Okay? And it's so crazy. I feel like so many times when we're stressed, the thing we do is we just feed into more stress. So like you're stressed. So instead of dealing with your own emotions, you go onto social media and you feed off of other people's emotions, okay? And the last thing we want to do is cut the circle. And it's just one of those things that when you're feeling cruddy, the last thing you want to do is start making yourself not feel cruddy. I don't know why. I literally am not a psychologist. I don't know the answer to that. But when you feel cruddy, you don't actually want to get yourself out of it. You just want to mope in it for a while, okay? So cut the circle, okay? Take care of your nighttime routine. Go to sleep, okay? Go to sleep. Something I'm loving adding to my nighttime routine is castor oil packs on my liver. You cannot do these if you are pregnant. If you are trying to conceive, do not do them after ovulation. Don't do them on your period. But you basically are going to, I love Queen of Thrones castor oil packs because they're just so much less messy. I ordered mine and I'm loving it. Not sponsored. I should be sponsored. If anyone wants to sponsor me, like that'd be cool. But I just put castor oil on that, rub it together, and I tie it around my liver. It's like a big pad. And I sleep that way. And it's so wonderful for your liver. And castor oil is just like this magical thing. There's not a ton of research on it and studies on it because, who wants to put money behind castor oil? It's not like pharmaceuticals make any money off of castor oil. But okay, I'm going down a different route there, so we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to reality because that can be a whole nother tangent. But it is amazing for helping support your liver detox, and your liver is doing such an amazing job of flushing out for you. Chinese medicine says historically like between 2 and 4 while you are sleeping, 2 and 4 a.m. So just help it out and then get up in the morning and go drink 20 ounces of lemon water, warm lemon water, not hot, just like room temperature. Okay? And go outside and get some sunshine on your face. Like reset the circadian rhythm. I know. I wish my ideal morning routine was completely like that. But I do get up and I do drink my lemon water. I don't necessarily always get sun on my face because if I want to get up before Landon, sometimes the sun's not up. But I do get outside at some point during the day to get sun on my face. Okay, so we talked a little bit about your nighttime routine, your morning routine, all that fun stuff. So what are some other things you can do to support your adrenals besides lowering stress, which I know that you are going to be doing? I love magnesium, potassium baths to help replenish my potassium and my magnesium. I believe the number is 68% of women in the US are deficient in magnesium, okay? So take those baths. Potassium, oh my goodness. So every time you get stressed and anxious, this just depletes our potassium. It just drills it into the ground. So foods that are high in potassium are parsley, bananas, coconut, avocado, spinach, and I believe apple cider vinegar as well. So I love incorporating those into my day to help raise my potassium levels. I also love taking the baths at night. I turn the lights off, put a little bit of lavender essential oil, and I just take my bath. And it's so relaxing. Oh my Lanta, just thinking about it. Oh, okay. Other things I love. I love ashwagandha. It's a great adaptogenic root powder. I love exercise, okay? Now, if you are in an exhaustive phase of HPA axis dysfunction, Okay, you cannot be running around and going crazy and doing these intense workouts. Your body just can't handle it, and you shouldn't do it, and stop, okay? So that doesn't mean you shouldn't be exercising though. I would recommend like maybe a half an hour, just going out and getting a walk in, doing some bar classes, doing some Pilates, anything that's going to get you moving, because you also want to get moving. You just don't want to be putting a stress on your body, okay? And then one of the most important things that you should be doing is stabilizing your blood sugar. I do talk about stabilizing your blood sugar all the time. I think we pretty much touch on it in every single episode. Have I convinced you that you need to stabilize your blood sugar yet? Because I hope I have. So anyways, where I was going with this is when you spike your cortisol, when you stress that, it also spikes your blood sugar. But spiking your blood sugar by itself, eating a ton of carbs, what goes up must come down. And when it comes down, that's a stress on your body. So guess what? Gonna spike that cortisol again. Fun little pattern here we have going. So it's so important to keep your blood sugar stable, okay? So when you're waking up in the morning after you drink that lemon water, you're going to be having protein, fat, carb for breakfast, high protein, high fat. And then you're going to be making sure that every snack and every meal, protein, fat, carb, balance, 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 balance. Have I said that enough? Balance, 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 okay? So no more having pancakes for breakfast. No more having, you can have pancakes for breakfast, just have to balance it out, right? It's not about restriction. It's just about incorporating things that are nourishing your body, Restriction is just not sustainable, but you need to also support your body. So no more pancakes. Have one pancake and have eggs and sausage with them or something. The other thing that I love is the adrenal cocktail. So you can make this with 5 ounces of OJ, 1 ounce of full fat coconut milk, and 1 scoop of collagen peptides. I love Further Foods for collagen peptides. That brand is really, really great. The other thing you can do is there is a Jigsaw is a great brand that has an adrenal cocktail. I will link it below for you guys to get 15% off of it, but it's a powder and it has all the nutrients that you need. It has your potassium, your sodium, and your vitamin C. And vitamin C is also amazing for progesterone, which is your keep calm, carry on hormone. I love the adrenal cocktail. I take mine in the afternoon, and it's just so amazing. I just love it. And it's very salty, so I mix it with a fizz. Or I mix it with, what else have I mixed it with? I mix it with hydration, anything like that. But I love the brand Jigsaw because it's just a powder. There's no fillers. There's nothing else in it. And I will link it so you guys can get 15% off. But I really, really, really love it. But yeah, those are my tips if you're dealing with HPA axis dysfunction, okay? You have to start putting your healing first. You have to lower your stress levels. You can't just keep going, oh, I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to get through it, because guess what? Next week's just going to be just as stressful, and you're going to keep telling yourself, oh, I just need to get through it, until you crash, okay? I don't want you to crash. So prioritize yourself now, please. That would be amazing. Support your body, okay? All right, if you guys have any questions about this, I would love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this episode, please, I would love it. It would mean the world to me if you would rate and review. We have, I think, over 100 or somewhere around there listeners of this podcast. And if every single one of you rated and reviewed, that would be 100 reviews. We would bump this podcast up so fast. You guys would, it would literally mean the world to me. I would love it so much. Okay, I'll chat with you later. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Balancing Hormones Naturally. If you found this helpful, I would love for you to share it with a friend and post it on your stories and tag Balancing Hormones Naturally podcast so we can get this message out. You can find me on Instagram at Leah_BRUEG, and I would absolutely love to hear from you.